I'm excited about today because this is something that we've been working on the last couple of months with coordinating some of our best talent within the high level community to bring them on and spotlight them. And I have here Pavel Ketsuk, which is a familiar face if you are following YouTube channels around Go High Level, as well as communities that are within High Level. But we have a jam-packed day ahead of you. Actually, between today, tomorrow, and the next day is full of content that is designed to help you create the framework for you to go to market with websites as a recurring subscription. Before we really kick this off here, it's so important that we make sure that we know where you are tuning in from. And we know that you are in the mix with us. We have about 500 or so folks here that are just jumping in our Zoom room. For those that are new, we take the conversation from Zoom to our Facebook business page. You could go ahead and conversate with us and just really have fun engaging, liking, commenting, sharing your feedback with us by visiting facebook.com/high-level-reviews. And then you'll see the live stream. If you're watching this from one of our groups, like the High Level Official Community, the High Level SaaSpreneur Community, our High Level 5-Day AI Challenge community, or our Go High Level Jobs community, good morning, good afternoon, good evening to you. We are glad to have you tuned in, whether it's for the whole time or parts of it. But the great news is that we'll have this recording available on our replays page. So we'll be having those details below in the comments. Without further ado, if you have not yet, please comment where in the world you are tuning in from. We'd love to hear the city, state, region, country, and we're gonna get this baby started. It's with no further delay. My name is John Bermudez, better known as JB. I'm the host of this 3-day workshop with Pavel Ketsuk, and we are going to be diving in to turning websites into subscriptions. And what Pavel has put together is pretty much the path to making this your recurring revenue, regardless of your experience with High Level, or if you are not a customer yet, about to be one, or have been one for 1 month, 6 months, or years. You can literally take what he's going to provide, put it on top of your High Level, and start creating that extra revenue coming in. I want to tell you a little bit about Pavel. He's been at this for many years, but most importantly, Pavel's growth was when he had a lifestyle agency, and he grew that lifestyle agency to about $21,000 per month with a 70 to 85% profit margin. And the question becomes, well, how did he do that? That's exactly what he's going to be sharing in day 1, 2, and 3, different parts of the training on how you can take that experience and fast track it to make it work for you. And in just a few years that he was doing this out of his mom's basement, the growth came in because of the consistency work. And now he's well known in our community, but most importantly, making an impact for other agency marketers and business owners using his service. One fun thing about Pavel, if you don't know him, is that he loves to travel the world. That's now his full-time career as a digital nomad, supported by a lean team that runs the whole business. And again, it didn't happen overnight. Results will vary, but he's going to give you the ingredients that really, really made this happen and how it happened. Since then, Pavel has become a Go High Level top affiliate with us, showing people from A to Z how to replicate the entire system with thousands of students throughout the country. And those students have stayed within his community month in and month out to grow. Pavel, thank you so much for committing the time into putting the work to make this presentation what it's going to be presented to the community. But most importantly, for you to open up and unlock all of your strategies and secrets. It is a pleasure to have you live and direct.
John, thank you so much, man. I appreciated that. It was an amazing intro. I'm really, really excited to be here because I love High Level. I love you guys. And it's crazy because a few years ago, I was on the other side of this. I was the one watching these workshops. I was learning. I was downloading the snapshots. I was trying to figure this out. So I appreciate being here. I appreciate you guys reaching out and having me on. It's been an absolutely amazing journey. And I'm really excited to show all of you what I have done here and what we have done and now what we have replicated and I've seen others do to grow their business. In the beginning, it was just a beta test. I didn't know if it was going to work for anyone else. But obviously, since I have become a top affiliate, I've had a lot of people join the community, the program. They've used my snapshots, my client getting strategies. And typically these types of trainings, I usually keep inside that community and I just give them everything for free. So this is really probably my first time doing such a long, in-depth, full course on this model. And I'm really excited to share it. This is how I've started. And yeah, I'm excited to dive in here. So let me go ahead and share my screen, and then we can dive in here. So let me know once you guys can see my screen. All right, can you see my screen here? Let me know here, John. I think you're muted, John. Hey, John, I think you're muted, so I'm not sure if... Okay, amazing. I got the thumbs up. All right, so let's go ahead and dive in. This is the 20K a month lifestyle agency framework. Day one, we're going to cover how to start getting 5, 10, 15 plus new clients every single month. And we're going to talk about how to do that predictably while reclaiming not just your financial future, but your time, your location freedom, and also your lifestyle. And really the bulk of what this will cover is turning websites into subscriptions. Now, you certainly don't need to be some kind of website expert. You don't need to be a web designer. And in fact, we're going to talk about taking this into multiple different angles. If you are a website expert, if you are a web designer by trade, I'm going to show you how you can really leverage that. Or if you're just a high-level expert, or maybe you're new to high level, I'm going to show you how you can use the website in a day model and website design as the foot in the door offer to get people in and to actually get them interested in your services. So let's go ahead and let's dive in here. Okay.
And Pavel, while you're doing that, forgive me, we had some technical difficulties with the muting and unmuting on Zoom. So thank you for picking up the baton and running with it. I'm here with you.
Amazing. I saw your thumbs up. So
yeah, sweet.
Perfect. Cool. So by the end of this training, there's a few things that you will have. So you're going to have your niche ready to go. You're going to have your irresistible offer and messages in hand that you can start sending. You'll have a full list of people to reach out to that need you. You'll know exactly what to say, and you know exactly what to do after they sign up. You'll know how to deliver all these services and even how to keep people paying every single month. Now, you also have a proven framework on how you can actually remove yourself from the day-to-day operations while keeping your company growing. All you have to do is take action, hit send in the messages, and follow our process. Also, as a bonus, throughout this training, I'm going to be putting in links to slides, to downloads, tools, free website imports, free resources, and spreadsheets. So it's best to pay attention. Don't skip around, zone in and out to actually get all of the bonuses. And plus, if you are joining in at a future time, then it's best to also go back so everything can make sense A to Z. Also, John, so I'm seeing some drawings here. I don't know if that's enabled or disabled.
Let's see what we got here. Give me a moment.
Sure, it might be the annotate feature, so I don't know if that's accidentally enabled.
We'll get that squared away here.
Perfect.
Looks like it. Yep. Can you could you disable it on your end? On the bottom right where it has annotate.
Sure.
It should say.
We got some artists in here.
Yeah, that's a sign of welcoming. We'll get this squared away here. If you could just stop sharing real quick, and we'll make some adjustments here.
Sure, go for it.
Okay, great.
Yeah, I tried to find the disable, but didn't see it.
Yeah, no worries. Um, we'll get our team here. Ethan, you working on that, Ethan? So, a couple things here while Ethan's working on that is, you put a lot of content on YouTube about what you went over briefly. For those that are tuning in now, what is truly the big difference these next 3 days versus what you've been generous of giving
Yeah,
normally?
I think that most people, when they dive into high level, obviously, if you're on this call, you know what high level is. And I think most people, when they do join up with high level and they have all these different services that they want to offer. And the main issue that I see is they try to sell every single service. They try to sell missed call text back, all the automations. They talk about all the tech. They talk about everything. And this is what I used to do. It wasn't that long ago that I was sitting in in that seat as well. And I didn't know exactly how to articulate what it is that we can do. And what I found is that by offering, and this has been talked about before, by offering one service in the beginning to get your foot in the door, you can actually get way more clients than if you try to offer everything. Now, what I've seen is people talk about missed call text back, database reactivation. They talked about every service except the website one.
Mm-hmm.
And as someone that has a background in web design, and as someone that has been in this space for quite some time, I want to touch on that. And I want to touch on how I still get clients to this day for web design. We have a couple different packages, and I'll show that here in the slides in a second. Don't worry, I'm going to go over all the pricing. I'll go over everything. But I think the websites is one of the best foot in the door strategies that you can get, because immediately coming into the business, your clients understand that a website, you want it to stay up for a long time, right? I think if you sell Google reviews or database reactivation, sometimes those clients think it's a one-time offer. Sometimes they think, oh, well, after I do the Google reviews campaign, that's great. Okay, 1 month, maybe in 2 months, we get all the reviews we can. Okay, we've activated, we've reactivated all of our list. Now what? Right? And then you kind of have to sell them on a different service. Oh, well, we're going to do lead follow-up. That's cool. But with websites, you're kind of going into it and they know, hey, you want to keep a website, no problem, but it's going to be a monthly fee. So it kind of gets that monthly conversation start going. So let's go into day one. So I see that the screen is being shared here.
Yep. I just, you should be able to jump in there again and reshare.
Let's do it.
So we should be good to go. Yep.
Which actually transitions nicely into what we're going to be covering here today. On day one, we're going to cover the old model versus the new model. We're going to cover how to pick the perfect niche. We're going to cover offers, packaging, and positioning your services so people actually want to talk to you. We're going to talk about what to sell with your offer. We're going to talk about setting up your agency brand, and then we'll even talk about pricing and payments. So let's go ahead and dive into day two. So for day two, we'll be covering the sales process and how to actually find clients, right? How to find clients / prospecting, how to get them interested in your services, our proven scripts and creating outreach messages. We're going to talk about setting appointments like a pro, and then we'll even talk about how to actually sign clients. And then day three, we're going to cover what happens after you sign the client, how to deliver services, and how to grow your business. How to basically work on your business versus working inside your business. We're going to talk about our assembly line process. We're going to be covering how to onboard clients properly, how to import templates. We'll talk about how to build the actual websites and how we build the websites extremely efficiently. We'll talk about project management and dealing with updates, how to scale with VAs. We'll talk about internal systems, so doing all the work in the business. We'll talk about outreach, connecting with your ideal clients, and then we'll even talk about ads, so getting automatic booked appointments via paid ads into your calendar. And then we'll cover the next steps, how to scale past $20,000 a month in profit, and where I see most people bottleneck around $3,000 to $6,000 per month on average. So a lot of stuff to cover. So before we dive in and before we go into all this training, maybe you've seen me on YouTube, maybe you've seen some videos, maybe you've just seen some thumbnails. So I'm going to cover who is Pavel, who am I, and also why should you listen. So I started from nothing. We moved to America. I was a Ukrainian immigrant. We came here on refugee status. We had $56 in our bank account. I came here with my mom and my dad. I've been broke most of my life, didn't have any money, had no real advantage, had no connections. I didn't have anyone I was relying on. And for a while, we were living on government aid before my mom actually got a better job. We lived in the rough neighborhoods and a rough part of town. So it was tough. And I needed something to escape that life and to build something for my own future. So I started the agency in 2017. And I will say, with all the tools that we now have, it works better now than ever. And it's amazing that I get to share this because it's so much easier than what I had to go through in 2017. I started traveling with this model full-time in 2019. I send my mom a full-time salary every month now. I'm now making over 100 grand, 100,000 per month, all online across the multiple businesses. And now I've coached more than 2,000 people that are inside our monthly private community that have chosen to stay because of these frameworks. Here are some photos. This is me in Ukraine. That's a photo of me and my mom. And then in the bottom there, that's a photo of me traveling. We're in Brazil. We're doing an event with the kids by the favelas in Brazil. Super fun. So I love travel, as John has mentioned here. So that is how I choose to live my life, see different places, and overall live a good life. So let's go in. So this is a couple testimonials that I have inside of the community. As you can see, this absolutely is working and this absolutely is crushing. I've seen people time and time again get clients using this model. So let's keep moving. Before we dive into all this training, and don't worry, John, I know showing the testimonials, I'm gonna give a disclaimer here. All right. So the results here stated are my personal results and or the results of my clients. So this is not magic. Please understand that our results are not typical. I'm not implying that you're going to duplicate them or do anything for that matter, right? We have the benefit of having gone through much trial and error. And I'm going to tell you how much I struggled, by the way. So don't worry and don't think this was overnight. I'm going to give you all the business or all business entails risk, has massive and consistent effort and action is needed. My first year, I got 3 low ticket clients, paid a couple $100. It was bad. And I sucked. A warning, it does take time. So I started in the marketing space over 7 years ago. Okay. It takes a lot of hard work. Sometimes you'll work 10 to 12 hours a day. Everyone starts off at a different point. I've seen people join the community and start getting clients in the first month, in the first 2 months, in the first week, in the first few days. Then I've seen other people get no clients and struggle for many, many months. All depends on you. Everyone starts at a different place. If you are starting from zero, your first few clients will be the hardest. You are fine-tuning everything. You are fine-tuning who you're working with. You're fine-tuning your offer. And the biggest thing is you're learning how to sell. You're learning how to actually take someone online that you've never met before and turn a conversation into money in your account. And that's a superpower. And the crazy thing about all this is you only have to get good one time. Because once you build these skills, they transfer into everything. I learned these skills when I was doing web design. I was offering SEO. I was offering Facebook ads. I was offering all these different services. And so when I finally came into the go high level world, all the skills transferred. And selling SaaS and pivoting my existing clients that were all high ticket into SaaS was easy because I knew how to sell. And my selling style, maybe you've seen my live cold calls or sales trainings or whatever, is very casual, very laid back. I use the Socratic method. But anyways, we'll talk about that in day 2. But with all that being said, it is so worth it. Think about how much time and money people invest in college or investment properties to get these kinds of results. So I'm just going to give you an example of one outreach channel that we have. And this might not make sense to you right now. Maybe it does if you're familiar with High Level. I made a post inside of a Facebook group. I just built a software that sends personalized texts and emails on autopilot to prospects. Get more business without spending money on ads. And as you can see here, we got a lot of comments, right? We got a lot of feedback and we had a lot of people that were interested. And don't worry, I'm going to tie this back into websites and web design and all of that. So how did I actually stumble into this business model?
Well, I want to just pause here because, you know, I'm looking at the chat and just the overall appreciation on one of the streams that I'm looking at is, as people are just learned about your story that, you know, you're not putting out there right in a press release. This is you just being organic, vulnerable, and just sharing with our audience here who you are. It looks like it's touched a lot of people because, you know, we hear and we see about, you know, marketing and 7-figure agencies and growing and success. And we tend to sometimes forget about the story and the hard work behind it all. So I'm very appreciative of you, like really just showcasing the human side of this journey you've been on. And it's amazing. And I believe that, you know, for those that are tuning in, if this resonates with you, if you're tracking along with us, just go ahead and type in story in the chat, whether you're on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, LinkedIn, type in story, because story is everything. Pavel just kind of basically treated us like a potential new relationship, shared his story with us, and now we're engaged with him. And when you're making a website or you're doing something for a business owner or even another agency owner, them trusting you is everything. And I believe that as we get a little bit more deeper into here with what Pavel's put together, you'll see how his style, very detailed, smooth, paced out style, complements his way of doing business. So thank you all for typing story in the chat. We know that everyone's got a different story and you should showcase that. Pavel, I'm going to throw it back to you.
Amazing. Yeah, I'm seeing the comments here as well. If you see me look over to the side, it's because I'm seeing the feedback from you guys and I love it. I see Jen's commented story. We got David, Debbie, Bart. Love it. I'm glad you guys are connecting with the story. I think a lot of people don't actually share their background and where they came from. And I think it's very important because it also outlines the motivation that I had before I got started with that. And I know you may resonate with that. You may not. But at the end of the day, that is what I had to go through. And that is what fuels me. And in fact, this leads nicely into how I stumbled into this model. Because my first year, like I mentioned, I got 3 clients. I was not very good. English is my second language. Did grow up in the US, but I still speak Ukrainian. My first year, it was very, very difficult. I sold a website, a custom website, meaning I built it on WordPress and I charged, it's like $150. It took me 2 weeks to build this website. No ongoing fees. One time, and that's it. And then I gave it to him. Second website was, I think it was around 400. And the third one was around 800. So I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know how to actually get clients.
Pavel, can you do me a favor? I'm sorry to interrupt here. On the bottom right of your Zoom, could you click on more?
Yep.
And then click on disable participants annotation. I don't know what's happening here with Zoom. The settings didn't carry over on your end, but just go ahead and click on more. Yeah. And you know, unfortunately, every bunch we have folks that, you know, customize their way of saying welcome and the value that you're giving here. So if you could just stop that annotation on your end, we should be good to go. And we'll have the team clear that up. Sorry about that.
Yeah, no worries.
Were you able to do that on your end?
Yep, it's disabled. I'm still seeing this this circle here. It's all right. Maybe someone resonates so much, you know, they wanted to draw and they wanted me to comment on it. So
it's our fault. We disable the chat and all that, so people find ways to say, "Hey, I'm in it."
I
So
love
we're
it.
all good to go, man. On the left
Awesome.
hand side, if you click on the annotate button and you click on refresh on there, you're good to go. It should clear it up.
Amazing. It's funny. I've never used this annotate feature.
I don't usually use it either. I learned about it here in our
Oh, I see.
workshops.
Clear.
Yes,
Oh, okay. There
we're
we
good to
go.
go. All right,
Boom.
let's get this baby moving.
Love it.
When you
All
got the
right.
goat in the building, rocking and rolling, this is what happens.
Boom. Okay. Perfect. So as I mentioned, in my first year, I only got 3 clients. And even as I got better, by the way, I still had to find a job. So that was my skill that I initially learned. I started off in web design. This is what I did. My first job that I landed in web design, I needed something to get out of my situation. And I ended up dropping out of college. I did go for 2 years, and I did end up getting a degree. I was supposed to continue and get my bachelor's, and then I decided not to do that. And I went all in on the web design business. And I needed something. So I actually learned how to code. I learned how to write HTML, learn how to write CSS, JavaScript, PHP. And my first job that I landed, I had to handwrite code on a piece of paper, like physically on a piece of paper, and I landed that job. So my background is in code, definitely not sales. And this is what I had to do. But as I started working that job and as I was making a pretty decent income, I realized that sitting in a cubicle my whole life isn't what I wanted. That's not the reason we came to this country. That is not the reason that I got into this business. I needed money, so I was working it, of course. It did also teach me a lot. It taught me how to build good websites, taught me how to build high converting websites. It also taught me, business things, why people actually sign up for websites. But at the end of the day, I still felt like it sucked because I saw how much they were charging for their websites. $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 for a custom website. And that gave me enough confidence to actually charge what my websites were actually worth. I started charging at first $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 for a website. And by the way, when I said these prices, I was shaking. Like, that was very hard for me. The first time I charged over $1,000 for a website is I went into a meeting and I had just finished a negotiation book. And in that book, it said to let the other person give you an offer first. So I went to this meeting and I asked him, he already met with another web designer, and I asked him, what did this person quote you? What price did they give you? And he told me they quoted him $2,000. Now, I came into that meeting and I was going to offer him this service for $800. Now, guess what? Because he told me it's $2,000, I was able to say, okay, I'll do it for $1,500 and we can get started today. And I ended up closing him. And that was my most expensive website that I sold. This is in year 2. By the way, no recurring services, just one time. And even though I was very happy and very proud of this, the downside of this business is it's very much so feast and famine. 1 month, you can make, right? You get 2 clients, maybe that's $3,000 a month. Or maybe later on, I got better and I started charging $3,000, $4,000 for a new website. So sure, 1 month you get 2 clients. Let's say you made $6,000, $7,000. You feel amazing. You feel so great because you're making thousands of dollars per month now. However, what happens the next month? The next month you start from 0. No monthly subscriptions, no reoccurring income. Does this sound like a real business to you? Most likely not if you're anything like me. And this really hit me one day. It's really hit me because I was coming home from work, right, from this same job. And I remember coming home, I would typically, after traffic and everything, I got home and it was about 5:30, maybe closer to 6. And my mom got home at about sometime between 6 and 6:30, 6:15, 6:30. And I remember walking in and seeing the expression on my mom's face. And I saw how tired she was. She was working 12-hour days. And she got home and it was just this face of exhaustion. She was grinding all day. Now, we also have a puppy. And I asked her if she wanted to take the dog out with me, take it out for a walk. And she was so tired. and so exhausted that she didn't want to go with me. She got home and she just sat on the couch. And I started noticing, and this has happened before, but for some reason, this day really stuck out to me because it just hit me. She spends all day at work and she comes home and she's in this half asleep, half awake, tired mindset. And what kind of way is this to live? Did we really struggle all this way to come here to America, to sit here on a couch and not even have the energy to enjoy anything outside of work? Now, sadly, this isn't an uncommon sight. I think a lot of people live this way. We lived paycheck to paycheck. So it's not even like we're working towards something. We never took vacations. We never had any of that. And it just hit me that I'm grinding here and I'm trying to build this business, which, by the way, we all know it's more of a side gig, right? If you're doing one-off projects, that's not a business, it's a side gig. That's all that it is. It's one-off. And it hit me that this isn't just about you. This isn't just about me, right? It's not just about signing clients for yourself so you could be free and maybe quit your job or maybe grow your business, but it's about the people that are around you. And I realized there's no way in my future, when I have a family, there's no way I'm going to sustain myself with this. Absolutely no way, let alone help my mom retire, let alone help my family actually live a good life. So they're not just coming home and not having any energy. And that motivated me and that fueled me to keep grinding and to keep working, waking up before my job, staying after my job, going to a Barnes and Noble or to a bookstore or to a library or to a WeWork or to a Starbucks and working on my business. And I use that as fuel. I use that as motivation. That's what worked for me. And at the end of the day, I think that is the big benefit of all this, right? We're not just building this website model and this and that so we can make more money. That's great. But what are you actually going to do with that money? Chances are you probably have a family that isn't necessarily retired, or maybe they can't retire. And they're not going to actually tell you, hey, I wish you paid me a salary, right? Very selfish. But realistically, that's probably what they wish you did. And that's my fuel and that's my motivation. So let's actually dive into this training. So who is this for? This is for two people. The first person is the actual web designer, the skilled web designer like I was. WordPress, Webflow, whatever platform you use. Maybe you hand code websites. This can be for you as well. It is for the skilled individual that wants to create a reoccurring business, because on the backbone of this business, you can upsell your custom website services while building a long-term, steady, monthly recurring business. The other person that this is for is for either the Go High Level expert or someone that's brand new to Go High Level and doesn't even know how to use the automations. You can be a beginner and use this model to get monthly recurring clients, paying you $150 a month, $300 a month, $500 a month. It depends on you. I'm going to show you what additional services you can offer with the Website in a Day program, with our website designs. Even if you don't know much about web design, I'll show you the basics of what you need to succeed in that business and what business owners, more importantly, what your clients and what business owners actually need. At the end of the day, that is the most important thing. So let's dive into our lead offer. So the Website in a Day, how does it actually work? We create one website template for one niche, and we reuse that for everyone. We tell people that we built them a free website and then ask them if they want to see it. Once they say yes, we're going to duplicate that template. We're going to add their logo at the top, and we're going to show it to potential clients on Zoom. And they are going to pay us a monthly hosting fee if they want to keep it. We're going to launch it on their domain as well. Now, from there, you're going to upsell different services as they need them, including custom website. If they want something beyond, that's just copy and paste, right? They want to change a bunch of stuff on this website. and they want to change something outside of your high level copy and paste website that you built, then they're going to have to pay more. We do have a more advanced option. So I'll just show you this very briefly, and then we'll dive back into the slides. So if you are on the SaaS plan, you can actually automate a lot of this. For example, you can have this kind of package on your website, right? They choose it, they hit the free trial, they type in their details, right? And then it automatically creates the website. So they fill out an onboarding form, looks like this, boom, they put in all their details, automatically builds them a website like this, automatically imports it. And so it looks like this, they type it in, boom, all the content is done. Again, I'm not going to spend too much time on this, but essentially all you would have to do is just launch and link the client just like that, give them the content, give them access to your CRM, to your high level, and then it is all done. And then you just simply upsell the other services. So you can actually automate the website in a day program like this. They fill out the form, website gets done. Easy as that.
Pavel, you're very humble and you snuck that one in. If you felt that he snuck that graph in out of nowhere, I didn't expect that, to be honest with you. I was like, this is the framework. Like, I'm thinking in my head as you're telling me, you're sharing this, I'm like, all right, how do I map this out? So I've got my notepad. I'm just like, all right, step 1, 2, 3. You basically just first part of this, here's the framework. Here's the visual plan that you need to get into your account and start building around it. I mean, basically, am I right here?
Yes. So this is the visual. Yeah, this is the visual.
Is this part of your snapshot, this structure, the meat and potatoes, the brainchild of what they need to do?
So if you'd like, yeah, so part of the snapshot that I'm going to share at the end here is one of our website in a day program, where you can import, where you're actually going to get one of our templates, and in there, I will show you how to actually do this, right? So you change all the content there with the custom values, and it updates the website. As far as creating this, right? So this is on the SaaS plan. And we do give this away to our affiliates and a tutorial and basically how to do it and all that stuff. But if you'd like, I can also share this Canva link here. I should be able to generate like a public link, and then I could attach that if you'd like, John.
If we could save that for day 3, just so we can keep everybody, understanding the whole concept. But this alone, I mean, people are probably taking screenshots of this like crazy, but it'd be better if they had it, where they can move around and really map out what they want to add, remove, adjust as part of their go-to-market plan, whether they're existing website designers or planning to layer this on top of their expansion offer. Thank you for sharing this visual. It helped me visualize it. I see in the comments, my friends here, whether they're customers or not of high level yet, they feel the same way. So this is awesome.
Love it. Yeah, I'm seeing the comments here as well. Love it. Someone said, OMG, yes. Love it. Amazing. So let's keep on moving here. So here's the process, right? Prospecting reach, you're going to reach out, and you're going to go on Zoom. You're going to do a Zoom demo. You're going to give value. You're going to sell them their website in a day. So you're going to get a website in a client, or you'll do a custom website if they actually need more than just something that's copy and paste. Then we're going to onboard them. Then you're going to auto enroll them into SaaS, and you're going to give them the first month free. And again, we'll go way more in depth into each and every one of these steps, guys. So I'll cover that as we go into it. This is just the overarching bird's eye view here. Then you're going to enroll them into a paying monthly retainer. Then you're going to upsell them, and then you're going to collect case studies, and you're going to collect referrals. So what is the benefit of this? Of doing it this way, of selling your SaaS this way, of selling your website services this way? It doesn't sound salesy. It's hard to say no to an offer that is so good. It gets your foot in the door in a value-driven way, so they actually have a reason to jump on Zoom. How many people say, hey, let's book in a call, and immediately it sounds like you're booking a sales call, not like a demo call, where you're showing them something that you've done for free, even though it takes you 5 minutes, right? We all know how the website template works in high level. You take it, you hit copy, you just put their logo on it, and it's done, less than 5 minutes. It catches the prospect off guard because it sounds different, and they want to see what you actually have for them. because of how we phrase our outreach messages. This concept works for all channels. And on day 2, I'm going to cover literally live sales calls that I've done, live outreach that I've done, and I'm going to show that to you. But this works on everything: DMs, emails, cold calling. You can watch me do this live on YouTube. I booked 4 meetings before lunchtime in a couple hours, in person as well. So let's go over the pricing. The website in a day, I like to charge $150 per month. This is just for hosting. You duplicate a template, you customize a couple things, you give it to them, they pay you $150 per month to keep it up on their domain, on their website. They're not paying for SEO. They're not paying for any optimization. They're just paying to have a website up, which a lot of times is still a massive benefit to them. Because if a client has a really bad website, or no website at all, that client, that business is missing out on so much new opportunity and so much new business because they're just not trusted, right? If you're hiring someone to fix your roof or to remodel your kitchen, let's say, that's a big thing, right? Your kitchen is in the middle of your house. You spend a lot of time in your kitchen. You go to someone's website and it looks like it's a website from 1990, or just an old website or a crappy website, or even a website that's just not optimized, meaning they don't have the reviews at the top. They have no photos of their work. You're not going to trust them versus someone else that does. And that's what we're doing. If you offer a website in a day with SaaS, I recommend you charge $300 a month. You could charge $500. If you have better sales skills and whatever, if you're doing more custom work, you could charge $500. Custom website, I recommend you charge $4,000 to $6,000 for that custom website. You can build it in WordPress, in the Webflow, any other web builder that you enjoy. Plus hosting is going to be $100 per month. Of course, you can also set up their own if they don't want to pay the 100, which very rarely does this happen. If someone just paid you 4K, 5K, 6K, they're happy to pay $100 a month so you can host their website. And the benefit of them hosting it with you would be that you can always make sure the website's up. You can make sure the website doesn't get hacked. You can update any photos that they need. You can update any service pages as they have more. And a lot of times, clients are cool with this. And this is what I used to do. Before High Level, this was my monthly recurring business. It was $100 a month just hosting. You can also integrate Go High Level SaaS with any custom website that you have. So what I would do, build a custom website, use the High Level forms, use the live chat from High Level, right? Put it in on that custom website. Now charge them $300 a month. Now you have a monthly recurring client. Example website. I'll show you an example website that we have here inside of my sub account.
So while you're doing that,
Yep.
while you're doing that there, for those that are tuning in, I know there are a lot of questions, and I know that, we have a variety of audience members that are beginner, in the middle, and expert. So you're going to be able to go to our replay section. If you have to log off, you're in between appointments, you'll be able to go back through this once we're done each day. But go ahead and jot down your questions in the chat, whether you're on Instagram, Facebook, or YouTube. Go ahead and type in Q and your question related to the topic that is being discussed at the moment. And then we're going to start getting back to you on those in our Q&A. But please keep the engagement up because it allows us to see where you're at. Since this is mostly a one-way verbal conversation, we still at least want to respond to you and make sure we're all on the same page to get you what you need so you can implement this quickly and efficiently to serve others. So go right back to you, Pavel. Looks like you are good to go.
Amazing. So I do see also a question in here that I want to tackle. We'll do questions later, but this one is just very specific to this point. And why does Go High Level not recommended for high-end custom websites? So it is recommended, and you definitely could build these high-end custom websites inside of High Level because they have the WordPress hosting. So you can host your WordPress websites in here, or you can build the high-end websites in here, right? I never said you have to go off of it. You can have a website here and just tell your clients, hey, this is our website in a day. If they want a bunch of changes and they want it completely redesigned, you can take this template, redesign it, and make it custom and add in GIFs and add in different backgrounds that move and add different things and then charge $4,000, $3,000, $5,000 for a website that is under this website tab right here. That is completely up to you. So let me actually show you one of these templates that we have. Now, what you're seeing is there's no phone number listed right here because this is a sample account here, as you can see, right? Unable to find form. However, this is the general outline. Once you fill out the custom values, it looks like this. It's going to plop in the phone number right here. It will put in the email right here. It's going to put in the address right here across the entire website. Now, as you scroll down, what you'll need to do, obviously, is replace the content, replace the text. You can replace certain images. We've built these website a day templates for a lot of different niches. And so, for example, if you're working with just landscapers, you build this website out one time. You put in all the landscaper content that you have right here, and you link up all the different pages and the drop downs. And then all you have to do is just replace the logo and then replace a couple photos, right? Like maybe take this photo off and put the photo of a business owner there. So it really should not take much time. This is one example of a site. As you saw, it was built completely in high level. So you replace all this. If you use the custom values, it will replace all the social media links. It will replace everything. Let me briefly show you how the custom values actually look inside here so you can get an idea. So here it is, right? Value. You're going to put in everything in here and it replaces it on the website. So with that being said, let's go ahead and keep on moving. All right, offer variations. So if they don't have a website, here is, again, we'll cover outreach messages and everything in day 2, but I want to give you a sneak peek, a preview on what you can actually say. Hey, are you still open? I was looking for landscapers in Las Vegas, but it says closed. I actually built you a website because I liked some of the photos I found of your business. Would love to show you. Let me know if you're free sometime tomorrow. So this obviously sounds amazing. You built them something for free. So now they have a reason to jump on Zoom with you so you can actually show them something. We have the existing website. So if you get a list of people and they have an existing website, you can say, hey, I found something broken on your website. Are you guys still open? ? I actually fixed it for you and rebuilt a couple things. Do you want to see it? Let me know. Now you're probably wondering, well, what if they don't have anything broken? The thing is, a lot of these business owners, if they have a custom website designed, it's probably not by a niche expert, meaning they could be a custom web design expert. They could build this beautiful website. But what we found is a lot of these websites are not optimized to actually bring them sales. So even though some custom web designer charged them thousands of dollars for it and spent a bunch of time on it, doesn't mean that you can't build them a higher converting website. I've managed so many websites over the years. I mean, literally at once, we had hundreds of websites that I was managing. And I saw the metrics, I saw the statistics, I saw the analytics of who was getting roughly the same amount of traffic and who was getting more website form submissions, more phone calls than another website. And I started linking this up in my mind and thinking, why is this one doing better? And that's how I developed these principles. When it comes to web design, I'm just not seeing much good training online right now. And that's why now, even if you go to my YouTube, a lot of the stuff is around web design because I had to figure out all of this on my own. And I'm not seeing this type of training be released. So yeah, exact scripts that you can copy and paste will be coming up. So one thing that I want to mention here, so this is the offers page. So for everyone that does upgrade their existing Go High Level account or sign up for a new account, this is the link that you can use to claim this offer. Now, what do you actually get when you sign up with my link? So we have a full community, like I said, over 2,000 members in there. We have a coaching call literally every single day. So I've hired my friends that I have met in person that are 7-figure agencies to be in there coaching. We have a sales call where you can go in and literally replay your sales calls and we'll critique them. I have an agency owner that's in the painting niche. He does over 200 grand per month. I've got also students in there that were once students that now make 6 figures or multiple 6 figures that are also coaches because 6 months ago, a year ago, they were complete beginners. So if you want access to all that, of course, that's besides all the snapshots, right? Well, I give you all of our website snapshots. I even give you our WordPress, my favorite WordPress theme that we use, that we charge 4 to 6K. I give you that so you can import it. A bunch of training, live sales calls, everything A to Z that you might need. Once you join, you get access to everything. I hold nothing back. This is the main thing that I do. Everything that I offer is inside of the community. So let's
Pavel,
keep.
question
Yep.
for you: for if I'm somebody that I'm new to marketing, I'm not really familiar like with masterminds, with communities, with membership courses, with just like working with other people that have done what I want to do now. They've done it already and kind of receive that from them. Can you share a little bit about when someone joins your community or your program, what that transition looks like, or maybe describe a little bit about what they can maybe expect outside of maybe a normal setup or another type of community that may be out there?
Yeah, absolutely. So one of the main things that we do that has worked very, very well for people and for members inside of our community. And by the way, even if you're on the highest level, go high level plan, there's still ways that you can join. And as soon as you do join, whether you're a new member or your existing high level member, you get a one-on-one onboarding call, a one-on-one setup call where we actually integrate all of our systems into your business. You get all of that just for being an affiliate. You sign up for high level, upgrade, or sign up for a new account. You jump on Zoom, it's one-on-one, it's not group, and we install all of our snapshots, both for the agency, we give you agency website templates, all the automations, this website in a day, automatic builder, all of that stuff is installed. Also, we give you the client getting snapshots that we install for you. Plus, there's a full course, which tomorrow, when we actually cover all of the outreach strategies that we have on how to actually get clients, we have one slide, let's say, that covers all of them. And I'm going to talk a bit about every single method. I'll give you a couple different scripts, of course. But inside there, we go in depth. Each video is 20, 30, 40 minutes into every single one of those bullet points that we have. I go very far in depth and show you live, real examples of how we actually get clients. This is the most in-depth thing that I have seen on this. I've been a part of many different coaching programs and mentorships and everything. And anyone that sees this, my friends that have also paid for coaching and mentorship, tell me this is like a $5,000, $10,000 program that I'm giving away for free, literally, if you just upgrade your high level or sign up for a new high level account using my link. So,
And for those that may not know you, right, as others may know you, what you said you were part of other coaching programs, right? What did that do for you? Like when did the light turn on for you and inspire you to now teach others? Like when did that transition happen?
yeah, so I'm quite passionate about coaching programs and mentorships because it's helped me so much. When I was a web designer, again, I didn't start traveling. If you look at my story, I started my company in 2017. I didn't start traveling until 2019. And even when I started traveling, I was only making like 4,000 or 5,000 a month. So if you think about it, it took me years to even get to a full-time income and actually quit my job and also have some savings, because I thought, hey, if I lose a few clients, I'm gonna have to move back into my hometown, which is in Buffalo. And I hate the snow. So I was very motivated to leave. And one of the biggest differences is in 2020 is when I first started making over $10,000 a month. And once I started making over 10K a month, I never made less than 10K a month again. And the biggest shift that I had, right? Why did it take me years to get to a full-time income? And then it took me 6 months to get to 10K. And then in another 6 months, I was already at 15. So the exponential growth came from coaching, came from mentorship, came from people that were able to give me feedback and say, hey, this thing that you're doing, you should tweak it a bit. Right? You should alter it a bit. Hey, try this offer, right? Hey, this sales call isn't going like you expect because of this. If you look at all the best athletes, right? Kobe Bryant, LeBron James, all these people, what do? Right? Boxers, they rewatch their own tapes. They replay their performance and they critique themselves. Chess players do this as well. They rewatch their games and they think, how can I be better next time? I think in the beginning, I was trying to be a solopreneur. I think when you're a web designer and that's your background, you think you could do everything yourself. You think you're the expert and you think you don't need anyone else. I'm here to make money. People pay me because I'm me. because I'm the designer. And that's fine. You can think that way. But at the end of the day, when you actually do get help and when you have feedback and when you have a community and people that are around you that you can even meet in person and you meet them and you're inspired by them and you think, in the back of your mind, you might even think, how does this guy make so much more money than me when he's not even that smart, right? Like this. And so this happened to me. These people are just like me. Why are they all making more money than me? This makes no sense. And so you have a glass ceiling. Growing up, I never even knew someone that made 6 figures. So of course I'm not going to make 6 figures. Of course my cap is going to be 4 or 5K a month because that's what everyone around me makes. I don't know anyone that makes more money than that. And so when I started joining these communities, these coachings, when I started making these friends and masterminds that all made way more money than me, it started breaking my mental beliefs, my mental barriers that I had regarding money, because we never had none, never had any. And I think that really is probably one of the most beneficial parts of joining any kind of community. Of course, there's access and trainings and all that stuff, but that's great. That's one part of it. But also just getting the feedback. If you jump on Zoom, I also do Zoom calls every single week with everyone. You can jump on and ask me questions. Hey, this is what I've tried for the past 3 months. Hey, this is what I tried in the past week, in the past whatever. How can I make it better? That's how we tweak it. That's how we improve. Einstein said the definition of insanity is doing the same thing and expecting a different result. If that's what you're doing, how in the world do you expect to scale and actually grow your business?
Yeah, I appreciate you digging a little deep in that, because we get into, right, the concept, we get into the framework, we get into the strategy, and the mindset's so important. It's so important. And I know you got some details here that I didn't mean to hold you up, but I just feel like for our newer members, our newer community participants, new users, I level so much, and they're like, where do I start? Like, this guy's great. I want to follow him, and I'll take his advice, but like, I'm lost overall. So thank you, my friend. I'm gonna sit back here because I know you got some good nuggets coming up.
Of course, man. Let's do it. So let's talk about your 20K evolution. So you need to level up who you are first before you make any real money in the business. It will be a reflection of how much you've actually grown, improved, and how much you've reinvested in yourself. This could even be books. In the beginning, I didn't have mentors and courses and this and that. Nothing like this existed when I started in 2017. I had books and that's it. If you want to make, at the end of the day, doctor or lawyer level income after a couple years without spending most of your 20s stuck in school, you have to put in your dues. And that's what people don't realize. I was ready for it to take 10 years for me to make over $10,000 a month. And I was fine with that. There's a lot of people that go to school and invest hundreds of thousands of dollars and will never see the kind of income that you can generate from this business. Not even to mention, by the way, the freedom, right? How much do doctors work? How much do lawyers work? A lot of freaking hours. A lot of hours. You need to take imperfect action. Do not be a perfectionist. So many web designers, I see it's so common in the web design industry. Oh, because it's a design field. Oh, this needs to look perfect and these elements and this and that. Oh, but this is not ready yet. And this is, oh, but this automation isn't set up and this workflow isn't. That's not how you grow a business. You grow, you take imperfect action, and then you adjust as you go. It's ready, fire, aim. That is the philosophy. You get ready, you fire, you send the messages, you go out, you do the sales calls, you meet the people, you meet the prospects, and then you adjust. And then you do it again. And then you do it again. And that's how it goes. Take freaking action every day, even if it's small. You have to progress daily. It took me far too long because some weekends I'd be crazy productive. Other weekends I'd be out with my friends and I'd be doing other things. And by the way, you don't have to sacrifice your entire life for this, right? But would it be beneficial to go into a monk mode period to where you're just grinding and you're just working before work, after work, weekends? I think so. If you can grind and work in monk mode for a couple years to reclaim the rest of your life and make a full-time income, yes. The answer is yes, that makes sense. Prospecting is king. You have to get more appointments at all costs. This is the biggest thing that you need to focus on in your business. How can I actually get more appointments? How do I test more offers? I think a lot of people, both in web design and in Go High Level, focus way too much on the tech. And I think that's great. You definitely want to understand what you're doing. And we're going to cover that in day 3. We'll cover the deliverables, how it all works. But at the end of the day, that should not stop you from reaching out. You don't have to have everything figured out. Get more appointments, get clients, sign them up, and then figure it out as you go. You're going to learn way more if you're working on a live client than you will if you're just sitting in your room obsessing about a problem that doesn't even exist. Get more appointments at all costs. Test everything you possibly can. And you will fail. So fail as soon as possible. Fail ASAP. You'll send 100 messages. 3 people will respond and they'll tell you they're not interested. Great. Change the message. Keep going. Keep moving. Anxiety and nervousness is also a good thing. If you're doing sales calls and you're nervous, if you're selling websites, if you're charging a price you're not comfortable with, that's fine. That's what growth feels like. If you never get uncomfortable and if you never feel a little bit of imposter syndrome, then that means you're just not growing. You're so comfortable that you're not doing anything new. So think of the gym. Imagine if you go to the gym and you do the exact same workout every single day. Not even every day, a couple times a week, right? 3-4 times a week. Yes, you'll build a little bit of muscle, but at some point you just won't grow anymore. You won't get in better shape. You have to progressively overload. You have to struggle. You have to put on more weight. That is how you improve. So here's my epiphany that I had. College, $50,000, $100,000 plus investment, 4 years of life. Most are happy with $4,000 to $6,000 a month salary. Working 40 hours a week until they die. Investment property, $150,000, $200,000 investment, and most are happy with $900 a month profit. 3 clients at $300 a month or a few custom websites per year does that for you, right? So you don't even need that much. I think a lot of people set this goal of, I want to make $10,000, I want to make $20,000 a month. But honestly, just making $1,000 a month could be life-changing. I mean, that could be potentially your rent payment, your mortgage payment, that could be your car payment. And this is the ultimate. If you want to just treat this like a side hustle, this also is the ultimate side hustle because the payments keep coming in every single month. And if you think about how much time people invest into these things, into college, into investments, into all of this, it's actually pretty insane. And we get to do that with just our mind. We get to create this money basically out of thin air, right? Where it's not like we're going in and selling a service, right? We're not making a shoe and then selling that shoe, right? We're not handcrafting things. We're not building a desk like this one and then selling it. We're creating this on the internet with our minds and with our effort. So the scientific method / feedback loop, this is what you should follow. You make an observation, you question it, you create a hypothesis, you experiment, you form a conclusion, you look at the results, and then you restart. Then you ask more questions. Why did I get this outcome? This is true for your life. This is true for your outreach. This is true for anything that you do. You make another hypothesis, and then you try again. And you keep moving, and you keep on going forward. So what do we actually sell with web design? Let's dive into this. I have another board here for you, since I see you guys love those. And so there's 2 ways. Go high level SaaS, $300 to $500 a month. And we have advertising services, $1,000 to $2,000 per month. We're going to cover that here. So first one for Go high level SaaS, this is what you could sell with web design. Google reviews, right? Instant results. You sign on a client, get them a bunch of Google reviews. This is an easy and quick win. All of your website design clients want this. Why do they have a website? So they can build their online reputation. Having a beautiful website without Google reviews will do way worse than having a lot of Google reviews, but having a simple, basic website. Next one, database reactivation campaign. Also instant results. If you're working with, we'll cover niches here soon, but if you're working with a client like let's say massage therapy. They might see 8 people per day. If they have multiple masseuses, they could see 15, 20 people per day. They probably never reach back out to those people. Imagine if you got a list of all their past customers, thousands of people, maybe even tens of thousands of people, and you just sent them a text message and email saying, hey, existing customers get 10% off. Schedule an appointment now. You just did that. You came into their business and now they are crushing it. You just instantly in the first week potentially booked them 10, 20, 30, 40 appointments on their calendar by doing what? By running one campaign. And the best part is we already have this built out, so you don't even have to start this from scratch. Chat bots. So live chat plus Google review responding. You add this, and this is a huge value add. This could potentially replace an employee. And by the way, all of these things, think about, you want to start thinking about how much value does it actually add to a business owner? So how much money would you make them if all of a sudden you're getting them all these appointments from a database reactivation? How much are they making from this? Probably a large amount, right? If you're getting them that many appointments, you're making them a lot of freaking money. So we work with kitchen and bathroom remodelers, and I know that one remodeling project is $20, $30, $40, $50,000. I get them 10 appointments. They close one client. I just made them $20,000 in the first week that they worked with me. Next is reputation management. So a lot of local business owners forget to ask for Google reviews. So if you can help them build the habit of using your Go High Level SaaS and logging into it every single day, and then just marking at the end of the day, marking everyone that turned into a customer as sold, we can automatically send a review request to their customers without any effort on their part. Tracking everything. So local business owners really don't track anything, right? If you ask them, most of them, if you ask them, where do your calls come from? They just say online. Oh, they just come from my website, or, oh, just online. And they don't actually know. If you keep digging deeper, well, what do you mean by online? You mean Facebook? You mean Google? I mean, do they come from postcards? Do they come from the billboard that I just saw you had up? They have no idea. So you can even just put tracking numbers on different things, on if they have a billboard. One of my best clients was spending over $20,000 per month on a billboard, and he had no idea how many freaking phone calls are coming from that. So I gave him a tracking number. We put that on the billboard. We put one tracking number on his Google ads, one on his Facebook ads, one on his website. And now he can actually see what's getting the most amount of phone calls. So now he's able to allocate his budget based around what's actually getting him results. This is extremely valuable. Unified inbox. I've seen a lot of local business owners that just forget to check their Google My Business or Google Business Profile messages. They forget to check their Facebook. They forget to check their Instagram. So we're going to basically unify everything, get all the messages inside of one platform. And that platform is your white labeled Go High Level SaaS. And the best part is they download this on their phone. They don't even need to be on a computer, and they can look at everything, answer everything back to back to back to back. Lead follow-up. A lot of people miss their appointments, right? They get a new lead and they don't respond to them instantly. It takes them an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours to even respond. Just by automatically responding or offering missed call text back or automatically helping them book appointments. A new website form comes in. Maybe that person that you're working with doesn't even want more website forms. They actually want appointments. So what if you can redirect them to a calendar? What if you can text them a calendar link and just say, hey, we're so excited to see you. Here's a calendar link. Book yourself in. I'm excited, right? How much value would that add? A lot. Automated social media posting is also ongoing. So they can use AI to create content. You can also do this for them. There's a couple ways you can structure social media management, but you can do that inside of your white labeled Go High Level. So I recommend as you grow, you can get from 0 to 5K a month just with these services if you'd like. My recommendation is as you're growing this side of the business, also start to learn these services that you can charge 1 to 2K per month for. Because if you get to 5K a month, charging $300 a month or $500 a month, offering these services, all you have to do as you learn these advertising services is just offer them to your existing clients. Maybe you already have website design clients that are paying you for hosting, and maybe you have old website design clients. Maybe you have SaaS clients. If you learn these skills right here, you can turn that $300 a month client or $100 a month client into paying you $1,000 a month and instantly boost your income like crazy.
So, Pavel, before you get into more goodies here, if I am somebody who has taken maybe one of the challenges at high level, and they talk about the gateway offer, which is maybe the miscalled text back or the AI receptionist. If am I understanding this right, that the web design as a service could be my gateway offer?
Correct.
Okay, so that being my gateway offer, let's say I'm somebody that was in sales, selling for a larger company, whether it was advertising, software, but now I'm leaving or I'm preparing to leave that corporate America job. And now I want to start my own marketing service provider or professional services company. I could use high level this framework if I have a passion for web design as my gateway offer. And what you've uncovered here is basically the expansion offer of how it all intertwines with the web design as a service. Am I tracking with you right?
That's perfect. Exactly. So web design is
Okay.
the foot in the door. All of
Okay.
this is after they come in.
Okay. And I know that, folks, there's a series of questions around, well, I don't know how to design websites. I don't know how to fulfill it. There's resources that are tied into that. There's additional trainings. But aside from that, when we talk about price point of a website, whether it's a $199 website or a $15,000 website, is it safe to say, based on your experience and what you teach to your community, the price varies on the time of the design? So let's say it's a 150-page website, then time and money would fuel what that end price would be. Would that be one way of how pricing is determined, by time and money, time
100%.
that's required? Okay. And then there is another section, if I'm understanding this right, of like functionality. Maybe there's custom coding, there's custom database build out, things of that nature. That would be another way that it would be maybe a $10, $15, $20,000 website. So aside from the time and maybe functionality, for the average business owner or average professional services, high level does everything they're going to need. It's just how much do you want to charge per hour? Is that accurate?
That's certainly one way that you can do it, but I like to get away from the per hour structure because I want a scalable company and I want to focus mainly on doing outreach and actually getting more clients. So the way that I've always charged per custom website is $4,000 to $6,000. And really, this isn't even very heavy on the code or super technical. The main benefit and the main difference is just them wanting to customize it. And a lot of times they're cool with paying for that. Of course, there's some clients that they're going to want custom code and they want little features. And it depends, right? If you're building like an e-commerce website, then of course you need more technical stuff and checkouts and this and that. But at the end of the day, if it's a local business owner, if it's a massage therapist, if it's a chiropractor, right, a remodeler, a roofer, they don't really care what tech you use. They don't care about any of that. And you can charge them a high ticket price just because they want something that's custom done. They want to, if they want SEO, they need a custom website because they need all the custom content, right? They need a content writer. And I'm going to show you how to outsource all that and actually have a scalable business around this. But just customizing everything and making it function and work to what they want, and then also using your skills and making sure it converts a lot of the website visitors into paying customers for your clients is why they're paying you $4,000 to $6,000 versus the $150 per month. And even just like embedding a calendar, right? So saying, hey, we'll have an automatic booking calendar, or we'll have an automated estimate form directly on your website. So people can fill out a survey, type in, let's say, like how big their lawn is or how many trees they have or this or that, and it automatically calculates a price. This is something we have inside of our landscaping snapshot. And just having these kind of like estimators, even, they're willing to pay more for this.
Yeah, and the reason I just wanted to touch on it because you're making it very black and white. Like this is you can do this and offer this. Like it's very simple to understand, and it's very easy for the mind to say, "Well, what's the catch?" or "That's not realistic." So I wanted to just kind of maybe unpeel the onion here and really make show like in detail here how easy this really is to implement with all the features that it's already in high level and then the framework and the tutorial and the process you're sharing. So I appreciate you digging in deep. I'm going to throw the mic over back to you.
Of course. Yeah, I appreciate your input there. So let's dive in. So we have the advertising services. First one is going to be Facebook. You learn Facebook ads. A lot of these clients just want new leads. This is great. After you do the database reactivation, typically clients are going to say, okay, wow, you got us a bunch of appointments. We got a bunch of sales. What now? What's next? How else can we get customers? Great. Well, now we've exhausted your list. We actually have to do some marketing. We have to do some paid advertising so we can actually get more leads. We can get more potential customers. Facebook, you can also use UpHex right here if you don't know how to run Facebook campaigns, freeuphex.com if you want to use that. Basically, this allows you to run the Facebook ads right here inside of your Go High Level profile. As you can see, you have a tab right here, manage Facebook ads. You click that, you can launch ads right inside of your Go High Level account with 3 clicks. I think that is amazing. So next one is SEO. I'm not going to dive too deep into, honestly, any one of these could be a 3-day workshop. So we're not going to dive too far in depth into how to provide these services, but you have SEO, which is ranking at the top of Google. Then we have Google Ads. Of course, that's you actually running ads so you appear at the top. You can also do Google Profile Ads. And then we have Google Local, which is a separate program. You can Google that and look into that. All of these services you can charge $1,000 to $2,000 per month for if you would like to get your clients more leads. We charge $2,000 per month, by the way, at this point. So those are the additional services. Now let's go back into the slides here. Okay, so what do we sell with web design? We covered that glorified freelancer versus an actual business owner or an agency. So here's what freelancers do. They micromanage everything. They never outsource anything. If a client asks for another service and they don't offer it, they just turn down money. And by the way, I'm saying this not making fun of web designers by any means or freelancers because I did this. I'm sharing all of this, by the way, out of pain. Out of thinking back and thinking, I literally had clients that were asking me, hey, do you do Facebook ads? Hey, can you help me with my social media posting? Hey, can you help me with this? Can you help me with that? And I just said no. Right? Like I've tried to pitch custom websites and people said, hey, I don't have a budget. I could just pay for hosting. Can you just give me something basic? And I said no. Right? I didn't think I could just copy and paste a website. A lot of freelancers adopt a craftsman mindset and try to do everything themselves. The company cannot run without them. Their income is capped to how many hours they actually work. They believe they are the best at everything and no one can do what they do. Business owners, on the other hand, they build an agency with a team to handle different project stages. So this could be working with other freelancers and hiring contractors to do one-off projects or ongoing projects. And here's an example. You have an assistant for $4 an hour that sets up different website templates, creates content with ChatGPT, creates your automations, puts together your prospecting list, your people of who you're going to reach out to, people that actually need your service, people that you need to reach out to. Imagine Michael Jordan pumping up basketballs before his games instead of actually practicing and training in his craft. Doesn't make sense. You want to create a monthly recurring business so that you don't start from zero every single month like a freelancer. And then you want to have outsourcing and referral partners. This doesn't always mean that you need to be the one that's delivering these services. You can have referral partners, or you can hire contractors. You can pay them per month, per client, to actually handle everything for you, making it impossible for you to lose money. Imagine hiring someone per hour. You get a new client that signs up. They only work when you have work. You pay them to work per hour. Imagine if you have a referral partner that has the SEO skill, that Facebook skill, the Google Ads skill, that has all these skills that you don't maybe have at the moment. So as you're growing your business, you can charge your clients $1,000 per month for a service and then outsource it for $300 per month. You want to adopt a CEO mindset and do what you're best at. These business owners, this is what they do. You want to outsource the rest and create systems around everything. You want to create frameworks and templates that are replicable, increasing output without decreasing your quality. By delegating, you can actually take on more clients. You can take on larger clients. You can deliver better results and faster results, making a far superior experience for your customers, plus actually demand higher prices. Everyone wins. You win because you can now grow your business. You can scale your company, and your clients win because everything is streamlined. Everything is streamlined. Everything is done quicker, and they're getting an amazing service. Business owners focus on refining client onboarding, project management, and delivering processes. So, and again, we'll cover all the operations and all that stuff in the future days here. And I'm going to cover in depth where I go to hire these virtual assistants, exactly what I outsource. I'm going to share my assembly line process. Okay, this person is in charge of this. Then this happens. Then this happens. And I have checklists for all this stuff that I'm going to be sharing. Let's talk about niching down. Why do we actually pick a niche? You want to be able to speak their language, become industry experts. This allows you to charge more. This allows you to productize your business, meaning you can build it once, you can replicate funnels, you can replicate websites, you can replicate workflows, etc., for each and every client. If you sign on 10 website a day clients and there are 10 different niches, one's a massage therapist, one's a roofer, one does plumbing, one is a builder, one does kitchen remodeling, one does basement, you're all over the place. One's a chiropractor, one's a doctor, one's a surgeon. It's going to be hard for you. This will just take too much time. And also, you're not going to know what's best for them. You're not going to know, for example, that landscapers actually want booked appointments versus actual just website form submissions or just leads. You're not going to know these things. You're going to have to start from scratch for each and every new client. And at the end of the day, there is no perfect niche. Every niche has good. Every niche has bad. So here's how to pick the...
If I could just jump in real quick, because
Sure.
we're getting into now the most important part of the framework and implementation is, who do we spend our time with? Who do we become? Which industry do we become experts in and consuming their day-to-day way of doing business? Because when you call them, they're going to be on the road with a patient, with a client, with a customer, whatever the case may be. So right now, Pavel's going to unleash a bunch of best practices, how-tos, action items. Do me a favor now in the chat, go ahead and type in your niche that you're working with now, or the niche you're thinking about working with. So the niche you're working with now, or the niche you're thinking about working with. We're going to see those pile up here in the chat. And Pavel will start using maybe some of those to maybe give an example or two as he goes. If we don't get to all of them, I promise you, we will get that information back to you in our Q&As as we evolve these next 3 days. So type in the niche you're working with now or thinking about. Pavel, back to you.
Amazing. Yeah, I'm looking at the comments now. Coming in, I got some landscapers in here. I got some tree services, hair salons, med spas. Amazing. Amazing. Yeah, let's go into how to pick the perfect niche here. So play to who you are and your competitive advantage, right? Think about your warm market. Who is in your close circle? Who are you around? Is your dad a dentist? Is your mom a massage therapist? Is your dad a massage therapist? Think about this, right? Think about who you know. Do you know anyone that's in a certain industry? It could be a friend. It could be a family friend. Just look at who you're around. There's a lot of business that's in your warm market that you don't even realize. Even, for example, look at the people that you've recently hired. Maybe you recently hired someone to fix your garage door. Maybe that's someone that you know the owner. The owner came and you can call him up right now and say, hey, what's going on? This is so-and-so. And they're likely to take your phone call because you paid them, right? And this is something that you want to think about. I am notorious for home services. So I work in the kitchen and bath space, like I mentioned, and I like the home services. I've been dealing with contractors. I've tested a bunch of different niches. In fact, in the beginning, my niche was anyone that would freaking pay me. But then I started niching down, and that's when I really started to grow my company. And I actually stumbled into contracting. I had a friend that did tree service. So that was one of my first clients for SEO. It was just tree service. I didn't know anything about the business. I learned a lot from him. And then I started realizing that a lot of these home services, they use certain language. They want more jobs. They want more estimates. And I started understanding what that meant. And so as I started on more clients and spas and this kind of thing, I just realized the clients that got the best results for me were contractors. And so in the beginning, the perfect niche could be just signing up anyone and everyone. So let's keep on moving. Is the niche data easy to find? I'm going to show you how to do this in day 2. I'm going to show you how to actually export your niche and how to find these leads and how to find potential people to reach out to. But you want to make sure that they're easy to look up. Is this a recurring service or a one-time service, right? Roofing versus massage therapists. Roofing obviously is one time. Your roof is leaking. You get it repaired. You don't need it again. Massage therapy, you can get it every day if you want. You want to look at niches that are medium to high ticket or medium to high volume, but ideally a bit of both. Look at chiropractors, look at dentists, right? It's a recurring service. Massage therapist is good. And if you need help with this, you can use our sheet to help. So I'm going to show you what we have here, and this will be linked. I have a bunch of niches here that I exported from Google My Business. And then I have a couple common niches here, like carpet cleaners, gyms, salons, chiropractors, all that. And then I also, in the very bottom here, I listed the niches by the lead price. So you can actually go into here, and these are exported, and you can look at how much each niche right here, this is in home service, how much they're paying per lead. So as you can see, right, cabinets, they're paying $32 per lead. But to build custom cabinets, it's $52 per lead. And so this will give you great feedback on any niche that you want to go after. Concrete, right? Junk removal, anything that you could be wanting to get into. So let's keep going. You have to understand your niche. You start to pick up on their way of speaking. This is what's actually going to help you convert more leads into customers than anything else. These people feel like you understand them and you actually use the words that they use. Like I mentioned, estimates, appointments, jobs, this kind of thing. You want to learn what their most profitable services is. So for example, roofing, not everyone does metal roofs, but metal roofs are very, very expensive. And you want to find out, do they like shingle roofs, right? What do they actually want more leads in? Dentists, not all, again, not every single business prefers these kinds of clients, but you want to know what they charge high ticket for. For dentists, this is implants, right? Very expensive. Concrete, asphalt paving, or foundation work, very expensive. Electricians, generator installation. You could look a lot of this stuff up inside of the spreadsheet that I also mentioned. Next, keep tweaking your messaging until you find something that actually gets replies and gets you customers. So what I've learned is that in home services, if you talk unprofessionally and if you have spelling mistakes, you ironically just get higher open rates, and direct language does better. If you're very direct, that's how these guys communicate. That is how these guys talk. And when we go over my live sales calls and my live sales outreach and my live sales actual meetings of me closing clients, you'll see I'm very unprofessional and I'm very laid back. You're not going to wear a full suit if you're meeting with a home service contractor. But maybe if I'm talking to a surgeon, it would be different. Another way that you can do research is go to Amazon. You can find books related to that field, read, skim them, read the comments, read what people say. So for example, type in like landscaper marketing. And sometimes this is done by a retired landscaper or retired business owner that now does coaching or something like that. Or even sometimes it's made by other marketing companies, but there's still good data in those books. So use Google and also Facebook Ads Manager to find other people that are targeting that niche and look at their language and look at what they are saying. So let's talk about setting up your agency brand. First thing you want to do is set up your website. So we do have a template that you can take a look at right here. inside of this spreadsheet. This is our best agency tools spreadsheet, and I will be sharing this again. All the resources, guys, will be here. This is a preview of the website. The import link is right here. So agency funnel import link. And this is what it roughly looks like. Again, it's all lorem ipsum. We do give this fully customized and fully built out for anyone that signs up with our link to High Level. This is completely done. So you actually don't have to write any content. It's all done. But this is your portfolio. This is where you can show your sample websites and all that stuff. So when you build your web design portfolio on your domain, you want to link it to your website and you want to have case studies. This is one of the best things that you can actually do. I like to use Namecheap for domains. I already know someone's going to ask, what do you recommend for domains? Namecheap is what I use. Make the website niche specific, talking to that industry. So it should be very, very specific. And if it's kind of broad, that's okay. You can even say something like home services if you want to bring on more people. All right, let's go into pricing and payments. So we use Stripe for billing. And another one is PayPal. And by the way, we use Go High Level for the invoicing and for sending out the bills, for collecting reoccurring payments right here. Auto billing, everything. At the end of the day, though, it doesn't really matter. We were collecting cash in the beginning. I would drive the clients to their like literally their physical location, and they would pay me. The way we used to charge for custom websites is they would pay half up front, half upon completion. They would pay me in cash, and they would pay me in cash at the very end. I'd go to their office. We would sit down. We would do a meeting. I would have my laptop. I would turn my laptop, show them what we built. We did nothing on Zoom. This was in 2017, 2018, all that. Now it's easier. Now it's much easier. So with that being said, again, if you do want to upgrade your account and if you do want access to all of our snapshots and everything that we mentioned earlier, this is the link, gohighlevel.com/Pavel Ketsuk offers.
So and this is also, if I can include here, this is also, if you're not a high level user yet, this is also a great area for you to jump to as well, to set up your account. You know, we're broadcasting this all over. So maybe you came across this because you've been thinking about starting a marketing company. You've been thinking about getting into freelancing. You heard about it. You've seen some of the marketing around white label. So you might have stumbled upon this by accident, and that's fine because everything happens for a reason. I think you should also keep in mind here that this workshop, by the name of the title, might sound easy peasy. Oh, all right, I'll just build websites and make money from it. Let me grab the pricing and let me do it. If you haven't been able to tune in and you're on the replay, you know, you want to go back a little bit and spend some time on the examples of the charts that Pavel's put together. But also this last one was basically an Excel sheet that broke everything down in detail. So look, if you're like me, I'm always judging, right, the book by its cover. I'm always like looking at to make sure, like, is this worth my time? Is this something that is really relevant to me in my current journey? And a few things that popped out on my takeaway was, all right, this isn't just made up in 15 minutes. This is details. This is proven framework, step by step by step. It's visual, but then there are links and action items that I could jump into and install or easily use a template. So for example, if you could go back, Pavel, to your last, your Excel sheet, if we could just hang on here, because folks that are, you know, day one in these workshops is sharing a little bit about the person that's taking the time out of their day to create the assets, give exposure to what they charge on a paid basis in their community. And we spend a lot of day one on introductions by design, right? Because we want you to know that, you know, this person that you're listening to right now has been there, done that, and is trusted within our community. But now you're going to see that the assets here created with the niches, right? Building the business framework is as important with delivering what your customer or your beta client is wanting. So there was like another section where you had a few links, I think prior to this one, that caught my eye initially.
This one?
This one, right? So like like if you just look at the tool on the left-hand side, the value of the tool, I mean, think about this. If you're out here building a brand from scratch, or you're looking to level up your brand, your business, you're going on Google, you're going on TikTok, you're going on Instagram. You're really like doing research phase, and you're pretty much taking sales pitches every day, right? Based on the marketing material you're consuming, and you go in brain overload. What Pavle's put together is what's worked for him, what's giving him result, and within his community of thousands, he's saying, hey, this is what I would normally give to my community. This is what you'll get as part of jumping on, my offer and my trial membership link. So, could you tell me a little bit on when you decide to replace a tool, Pavel? Like, what for you do you decide that this is not doing what I needed to do, and that there's more, like, because there's so many tools out there.
Yeah, absolutely. There's so many tools out there, and some of these tools, I didn't even know about, but we just have such a big community that I jump on calls, like I said, once a week, and people just share stuff with me. Hey, I found this cool new tool. This is what we did. They share their screen, and then I go and test it, and then I realize, wait a minute, this actually is pretty cool, and then we add it. Look, like at the end of the day, there's an unlimited amount of tools that you can use, and this is a forever quest of that you can go down a rabbit hole on Google and read reviews and this and that. But at the end of the day, you want to take action. And there's really only, I've narrowed it down. There's way more tools than what's on here, even that I've recommended before in the past, but these are the newest ones. And this actually is available, and anyone could get access to this spreadsheet. If you're on this call, then I can give you this link here. You can go through, you can also find it, but the way that I gauge this is based on quality and also based on price. Like, this is an example, and I don't want to give too much away because tomorrow we're going to be going way further in depth into all these tools. But if you just start just clicking on different things, you might not know like what actually, what this is and what that is. Like, what's the Facebook prospecting automation tool, or what's Phantom Buster? Like, you just don't know yet. But these are the main tools that you need. And some of these you might not even need because you're in a niche where it's not as known, right? So like, if you try to export a lead list from one of these tools, maybe it's not there. Maybe you need a virtual assistant. Maybe you need to go on Fiverr. Maybe you need to go on whatever. And we're going to cover that tomorrow on day 2.
Yeah, and there's so many different shiny objects and tools that help, and tools that are just right. They're time stealers, but at the end of the day, you could always tell based on a presentation and resources how much time someone really put in to the learning and the teaching aspect of this. And I hope you all feel the same way I do, that I'm excited for the Q&A that we're going to jump into in a little bit. I'm excited to now think about, okay, how do I level up my way of doing business now to be more efficient, streamlined, increase my price, enable my customers with the gateway offer, a new gateway offer, and then add on expansion features, and then stay in a community that teaches me, shows me what to do. So I appreciate you for sharing this. I know you have a few more things you want to go over here, but I just wanted to share that you put a lot of time into this, and we mean a lot. And sometimes website design doesn't get the full credit it deserves. I hear this from time to time from designers. Like, they think it's just a template, but it's really not. I put hours in customization and content, and it's disheartening, but I hope this motivates you to see that website design is an art. And when you couple the art with systems, processes, and coaching, like Pavel's showing right now, that's where you start to expand and take it to the next level. So back to you.
Correct. 110%. I think that's why in the beginning I mentioned this is for two people that are starting off, but people that are experienced web designers who are true experts in their field. Because a lot of them just don't know that they could just make a partnership. If they don't want to go in and they want to stick within the web design space, you can still build a reoccurring business by having partners that do Google ads and Facebook ads, and then just charging $1,000 a month and outsourcing it for $300 a month, let's say. Right now you're collecting $700 a month, and someone else is delivering all those services. And at the end of the day, if you're a web designer and you already have clients, like, there's people that are spending money with someone else, even though they trust you. So you might as well claim that money that is being spent in the marketplace, and might as well be spent with you. So, John, would you like me to share the spreadsheet here today?
Let's hold off on that part if you don't mind. I think
Sure.
a few people might have jumped on there, so you might have to adjust the settings. But the tools isn't is just one part, right? It's
Just
implementation.
one
That's
part,
what
of course.
you're going to go in detail here on a few other areas. Do me a favor, folks. Help us get ahead of the game here. Go ahead and type in the chat below the letter Q and your question. The letter Q and your question. And we're going to jump into some Q&A here. Unless you have something else you want to just bring us home with. Okay.
Nope, that was the last thing here. Now let's jump into Q&A. We got some time. Okay,
Yep.
would you like me to read these out, or are you going to
you
cover
got something? No, go right ahead. Grab one that based on your expertise here, and we'll go from there.
Okay. A question from Catherine. Will you review or provide a sample client agreement contract? Yes, we will. Do you use a lead scraper? We use a lead scraper. We're going to cover that tomorrow, though, so I'm not going to reveal which one is my favorite. Okay, so we got with Namecheap getting domains, they always recommend add-ons. The only one I wouldn't recommend any add-ons. Just get the privacy feature. It is free. And by the way, John, I'm only checking the comments here on Facebook, so I know
let's
have
work off
the
of
other
there.
channels. So
let's work off of that one because that's the most active right now. I'll compile the other ones for tomorrow's Q&A. So wherever they're putting those, that's fine. But you're on a roll right now, so I'll follow your lead on that.
Amazing. Let's do it. So, do you charge them for first month right away, or give them the 30 days free trial to SaaS? So what we do is we charge the client. So it depends on what they sign up for, right? If they sign up for just the website in a day program, we just charge them immediately, $150 a month. And we'll go over the process and how we upsell again in the other calls. I know you guys have a lot of questions here, and I'm seeing some of these that we do cover in the other days. But yeah, you could do free trials if you'd like. We never do that anymore. $150 today and then $150 per month. What we automatically do, though, is upgrade them to SaaS. So when we do the onboarding and we actually show them the website in a day, we go in and we tell them, hey, look at all these features that we're going to use. This is our SaaS feature, right? We automatically run the database reactivation, the review campaign. We run everything for them in the first few weeks. And then we jump on a second Zoom call and say, hey, how did everything go? I know. And now you're over delivering. They signed up for just a website in a day, and now they have appointments booked, right? They have the calendar feature. They have so much stuff, lead follow-up. They have all this stuff. So this is called the puppy technique. You give them a free trial, right? When people sell puppies, how do they do it? They let you bring the puppy home. And I'll tell you what, when you bring home a cute puppy, you're not going to go back and return that puppy. He's cuddling with you. He's watching Netflix with you. You're not going to return him. And so that's what we're doing with our clients. We're letting them use all the features. And also, we want to turbocharge your SaaS with conversations, link up all the social media, link up everything. And now they know what the potential is. And after 2 weeks, you're going to tell them, hey, by the way, do you want to keep this? It's $300 a month. If they say yes, you're going to auto bill them. So now they turn from a $150 a month client into a $300 per month client.
Pavel, do you mind stop the screen share?
Sure.
On your end? Thanks. Appreciate it. And then, so question here is, after signing up, let's say somebody wants to sign up here. What does the learning and support look like? Are we assigned to someone on your team if we go through the coaching program? What's that continuation look like if they were to upgrade or join your coaching program?
Yeah, so that's a great question. So basically, you're going to join. We have a bunch of different courses in there. Our main model is software with services. So what we are covering is just one service. The service is custom web design. But the program is around any service that you might offer. I like offering go high level SaaS as the downsell, and then offering something else that's high ticket. This could be Facebook ads, Google ads, right? SEO. We teach Facebook. We teach SEO. And so if you want to offer that, or you want to offer custom web design, that's great as well. And then you downsell SaaS. So we teach everything SaaS, full setup, everything. Now, as soon as you sign up, you're going to go through the welcome course, and then we just have a calendar. And then you're going to book. So I just hired the third person that I have now that is doing the one-on-one calls. These are people that are trained by me, that are directly on my team. And you're going to book in a call with her. She jumps on Zoom with you. And then we also have go high level tech calls. We have 2 per week right now. So if you ever have any questions about any of the setup that we installed for you, which by the way, you don't even need the one-on-one setup because we have instructional videos that's literally steps by step. We just updated it this week, actually. Late last week. We just updated it Thursday, Friday. And So you don't need it, but we have that one-on-one setup call to double check that you have everything done right. And then also we integrate our systems into your business. And so if you need continual education and support, that's all there. If you need a technical question, maybe you sign on a client, you want to run a database reactivation, you want to run a Google Ads campaign, we have 2 calls a week. You can jump on, ask questions there, and we'll double check everything. If something's not working, something is working, we will be there alongside with you. And then we have other coaches that's more, geared around, like I mentioned, sales. I have my friend Eric, who makes over 200K a month, that does live coaching in there as well. I'm in there every single week, so you could jump on, ask me questions, and all of that.
Yeah, the questions keep coming in. There's a handful of technical ones, which I know you've covered here for the next couple of days, and some of them are also related to, the high level platform in particular. So we're going to compile those, get those over to the team to get those answered. But I think for somebody that is in the niche, like, if you were to give some homework today to be prepared for tomorrow, when it comes to niche selection. Can you maybe go a little bit short answer on that? Where should they start so that at least they could be in student mode for tomorrow's training that I'm gonna give a little sneak peek to?
Yeah, when it comes, so we covered the niche selection today. Tomorrow is more about actually reaching out and prospecting, right? What lead list to use? How do you actually categorize the different lead lists? How do you actually send messages? What do you say on those messages? How do you actually then turn that into interest on Zoom? And then how do you convert that Zoom call into a paying customer, someone that is happy and raving to pay you every single month, right? So that is really what we're going to cover tomorrow, which is I would say the most important part. That's how you actually make the money. Now, of course, day 3 is also very important because it's actually how you deliver the services. And if you don't deliver good services, they're not going to stay and pay you every single month. And that's where I'm going to teach you how to actually help the customer, the client that you just signed, build a habit, because that's what we're doing. We're enforcing a new habit that they have to use in their business. We want your Go High Level SaaS to be like a utility bill. This is something that they're checking every single day. I have clients that are paying $1,000, $1,500 per month, and I speak to them once every 6 months on a quick phone call. But I can see every single day they're using our Go High Level SaaS. They are going in and they are responding to messages. Their appointments are being booked. The automations are working. The follow-ups, everything, right? Everything. And that's what we're going to be covering. But in the beginning, it's always hard. They always have a lot of questions in the beginning. They don't know how things work. They don't know how this works. They don't know how that. So once you explain that, and once you build, like an SOP training, and once you actually get them checking it every day, and they see the value, they see the benefit, they're basically never going to stop paying you. Like I have, even with like website hosting, I have clients that I signed in. I actually just did a YouTube video on this, and I have a client, because I checked into it. I have a client that's paid over $45,000, and I signed him up in 2019. He's a moving company, and he's still paying to this day. And I rarely talk to him, but he keeps on paying because the automations keep working. The software just keeps working. In the beginning, he was a website client. And then as I learned about High Level in 2020, I ended up pivoting him into High Level. And so we offered more services. And so he's paid a lot. We've gone a long way since our original website design. And I actually got him from cold calling at a Starbucks. So pretty interesting.
So necessarily you're saying is that you don't have to be talking to these website design clients every time once you get them launched. If you create the roadmap, you create clear expectations, you set up their platform under your white label properly with the coaching and guidance, that they'll pay because they're getting results and you're making an impact on their business. Are we hearing that correctly?
110%.
This sounds 110%. So good to be true, so easy. For those that are skeptical about it, or maybe this is a new concept, or they're like, there's no way I'm spending my time and hours on this. What's like the punchline of why they should come back tomorrow to learn the action steps to make it happen for them?
At the end of the day, I know it can sound too good to be true, but you'll see the hardest part, honestly, is just getting the clients. It's getting them interested. It's getting the client on board and explaining the value to them, in showing them how this is going to help their business. At the end of the day, it's not about us. It's not about, can you charge $150 a month or $300 a month? The way you properly sell anything and the way you get clients to pay you forever is by genuinely making them money. There's no gimmicks or tricks. You have to integrate things. And that's why day 3 is so important. All these days are important. Day 2 was important because you have to be able to portray your value. You have to be able to sell. And when I say sell, again, I'm not a salesperson. I was literally handwriting code not that long ago. In fact, I'm more of like a tech person, right? That's why my tutorials are so in depth and I'm showing like technical stuff because I like that. But I had to learn this skill out of necessity and out of my situation. And you have to portray the value. And my style is not very pushy. It's very laid back. Hey, do you want this or not? Hey, this is how it helps you. And I make it all about them. And I ask them a lot of questions. Do you think if we took your list of 2,000 people that you have that you've never reached out to that have given you money before, and we reached back out to them and just gave them a 10% discount, do you think we can get appointments with that? Yes or no? Yes? Okay, cool. Well, let's just try it. I mean, it's $150, right? For the website in a day, and then we're going to run the actual reactivation campaign. By the way, guys, a lot of these people, that's not a lot of money for them. Like I also think that a lot of these people don't understand, and a lot of people when they do sign up, if you've never charged money for things and you've never charged reoccurring, I used to be so scared of setting up a reoccurring payment. Oh, well, what if it bills them and then they're going to yell at me and this and that. But at the end of the day, you can give them a refund if they're not happy. If they don't like something, just give them a refund. It's still a learning experience. But these business owners spend more than $100 on lunch anyway. You're charging $150. They go on lunch with their staff and they spend $200. I saw this firsthand. They don't care about paying the $150 a month. They don't care about paying the $300 a month if you can save them a little bit of time. Some people comment and they say, oh, well, what if they find high level? What if they find out it's white labeled? Who cares? Do you really think this business owner who's seeing patients all day, who is painting houses, who is standing on a roof, who is standing on his knees as a plumber, as a contractor, as a remodeler, is going to go in and link up Twilio, and then it's going to link up high level and link up his domain? And no, he's not. He needs you. He would much rather pay you $300-$500 a month so you could just handle everything. And he sends you one text. Hey, change the text from this to that. And you just do it for him. These business owners, that is what they want. They have more time. They have more money than they have time. And at the end of the day, that is what you need. And you have to portray that value. So if you show them why this works and how this saves them time, how this actually makes them more money, and then you deliver a good service, which is what we're covering in day 2 and day 3, why would they stop paying you? If they're checking your app every single day, you're delivering services, right? It's not you yourself, but you have the software working for you. So at the end of the day, yes, it sounds too good to be true, but you can think about it. You know, these guys are paying $100 for an email marketing software or for phone number fees and this and that. And at the end of the day, that's just how it is. And you'll see that as you start talking to people.
It's either you as the user at high level in this training right now, or the salesperson that works for a larger company or companies that gets them and still has someone else do the work. So be in control. Pavel, you've been generous with your time, and I appreciate your authenticity. I appreciate your energy. I appreciate like you just kind of going in and giving the audience what they've expected and wanted. And then for those that didn't expect this, I'm hoping we surprised you. Because tomorrow, we're going to do this again. Tomorrow, we're going to be 12 p.m. Eastern time. Pavel and I, we're going to focus strictly on acquiring clients and pricing strategies. And that's going to be from 12 p.m. Eastern to 2 p.m. Eastern. We're going to leave a little bit of room for Q&A. So have your questions, as you're following along, jot down your questions. So when we open up the Q&A, you can throw those questions based on the part of the training you got them from. And then day 3 is where we're going to do just the complete packaging of this. How we take everything from day 1, day 2, and then day 3 is efficient delivery and scalability. And efficient is a word that's thrown out a lot, right? Delivery, another one. Scalability, another one. But ways you could tell with Pavel's style and how we do things at high level is that we're going to give you the action items that you need to take action and just do it. So we're going to give all that to you on day 3. As long as you're jumping into the Zoom or engaging in the lives, we're going to give you the GHL resources folder that we're going to unlock, give you access to the snapshot, the handouts, the collaterals that Pavel's put together, and then some additional ways to get in touch with him and be part of his community if you so desire. If not, if this is enough, that's fine as well. But Pavel, I appreciate your time. right? Appreciate your, just unlocking the safe and just saying, hey, here are the goods. We appreciate that very much. To the audience, if you have not yet, go ahead and sign up for your trial below if you're not yet a customer. And to those that are loyal, that listen in, tune in and out between appointments, serving their clients, we appreciate you as well. Until tomorrow, we do it all again. Thank you for joining us, and have a great, amazing rest of the week. We'll see you tomorrow.
See you later. Thank you all for jumping on.
Take care.